Columbus, Ohio up in here. About to get a little protest on. Got my trombone. I actually got the P-bone out. So let's go see what's going on.
Education is unraveled. You got it like 1,000 teachers. Teacher right here, and we don't teach the social studies and civics anymore in our schools. We don't teach that it's okay to come out here and tell Mike DeWine where to stick it when he tells us that we don't have the freedom to assemble. Our kids do not know their rights. Thank you for bringing your kids up here and showing them what peaceful assembly looks like. My butt kicked, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Keep on fighting. History is the greatest teacher ever.
What's going on, family? Professor Spira here. Ground Zero, Columbus, Ohio, at the Statehouse. We just finished up this little protest. This was very interesting event, and it'll be interesting to see how the media covers it, because I already know how they're gonna spin it, you know, because the way they've been spinning it is that the event is, you know, mostly right-wing kind of folks, and and they'll talk about like the white nationalists, all that, but it wasn't. It was actually diverse. I try not to talk a whole lot about politics because stuff gets so complicated and it's emotional for a lot of people and stuff. So I deal with the politics of physiological liberation and putting yourself back together. But when interests align, you can put together a hell of a coalition. And what I'm seeing here is the making of a serious coalition, because, as I said, the media is going to show or try to make this be like it's right-wing extremists, and that's all the people that's out here. Man, there's diverse folks, there's black folks out here, Latinos, a lot of people brought their children here. You know, and this is, as they say, this is what democracy looks like. This is, you know, if you ain't protesting something, then I don't know if you're part of the democracy. You know, everybody talks about how important it is to vote and, you know, let your voice be heard. I'm saying that you need to be protesting something, because in a society with this much corruption and this much, greed and ignorance and avarice, if you're not protesting something, then you're not paying attention. I'm here at the Ohio Statehouse, and you know, I kind of came at the tail end. I guess the festivities started around 12. It was supposed to go till 3, but it's still happening. But there's a lot of peoples out here, man. There was several hundred people. Like I said, the media is gonna say there was probably only like 70 or something, but I mean, it's over, and there's still, 150 something people here, and you know, they still kind of got that spirit to chant. But it's definitely deep, because there's some folks that generally I wouldn't politically I wouldn't be aligned with. On a lot of issues, I would probably be put in the kind of the left-leaning type of category. I'm anti-authoritarianism, and that's an analysis that usually is not really put in when they, especially on mainstream media, when they talk politics and they talk about left and the right. The problem is in America, the left and the right, is based in authoritarianism. And so left authoritarianism, right authoritarianism is authoritarianism. And so I ain't down with none of that. But yeah, it was cool, and I had my trombone. This might be the first time I really took my P-bone out and was using it. When people chant, when they actually chant with a little bit of rhythm, I'm able to play along and kind of put some little melody and rhythm to it, and so that's, but people was digging it. People was, they look over and they just give you that look like, yeah, that's hip, and just trying to contribute to the vibration, and because it's about liberation. I'm about liberation on all fronts. Physiological liberation, the freedom to do what you want to do, in terms of as long as you ain't hurting nobody else, then so like I said, it's interesting to have my politics aligned with a lot of folks that I wouldn't all necessarily be aligned with, but on this one it's there. So I don't know, I think that next week I might bring the drums. I might bring my whole little street rig kit and set up and kind of get down, and so I get, if you didn't know where I stand on the issue, I guess you know now that I'm not in favor of the insanity that's going on and all this stay-at-home stuff. They shut down all these festivals, man. As a musician, that's devastating to us, and artists in general, and folks that, there's a lot of people that make their living going to different festivals every year and setting up and doing that kind of thing. And so ComFest was shut down in Columbus, a big, like 50,000 and something, thousands and thousands of people go to that. Probably most of the festivals in June and in July, they're starting to shut them down. And so it's ridiculous. I didn't watch the whole thing, but what's his name? Last weekend tonight or whatever on HBO. I like some of his things, are kind of entertaining, but John Oliver. But he had just came out with a thing where they, are really trying to frame anybody that's into saying that we need to open things back up, that you're just like a right-wing lunatic. And I never ever thought that I would agree with Rush Limbaugh on anything, but he was featuring him, and all the different folks on there was saying it's a hoax and all that kind of stuff. And we're coming from like the whole other side, All right, brother. And so we coming from a whole different side where physiologically get yourself together. Stop eating the pus and mucus forming foods, and we're not going to have whatever triggers the elimination. Is what we're talking about are things that trigger the elimination. So whatever triggers the elimination is not going to affect you in the same way. It's been deep, and you can see my other videos where I kind of went into more depth in terms of the statistics and analyzing, sharing my thoughts on just the virus, germ theory and virus, and hooking that into Professor Arnold Ehret's work and that kind of thing. I made several videos on the YouTube channel about that, so you can check that out. But it's, I don't know, it felt good. It felt good to get out here. So I encourage you, if your town has some protest on this thing, get on out there and make your voice heard and your presence felt, because it's gonna take that. See, of course, we've been talking about the forced vaccinations and that kind of thing, and looking to the future. And if there's not enough of what happened here today, then when there's zero resistance, they keep on taking more freedom. So if there's zero resistance, if they see people sitting apathetic, because that's what they want, to sit, be apathetic, don't do nothing, don't, just stay at, like as they say, stay at home. If that's what happens, then they'll keep extending it. They'll keep taking more freedoms. They'll say, okay, well let's do it another month. They'll tease you and say, yeah, we're gonna start opening things up, but then all of a sudden there was a spike in cases and now we got to shut it down again. They're playing games with you, and if you don't understand that, you can't see that. They're just playing a bunch of games. We have to resist, and so I'm seeing potentials. Like I said, when this kind of thing happens, the potential for coalition. One of the things on our document talked about the resistance and putting together coalitions to rise up and make sure people know that it's not okay to do this. I mean, you have to say it. You can't just think it. You can't just, it's not going to be enough to just like a YouTube video and share it or share something on Facebook. It's time for action now. It's time for action, because if we don't have more scenes like this all across the world, then they will take as much freedom away from you as you let them. So we got to stand up. We got to resist. We got to let folks know, regardless of what you believe, because I'm sure there's a lot of people here that was at this protest that believe in vaccines, that believe in the germ theory. And probably most of the people here probably believe in just germ theory to a certain extent, because that's the orientation. No, people don't know better. They haven't been taught better unless they plugged into what we're talking about. Regardless, they're still saying like this is not warranted because of fear. It's not right. But I'm gonna be back. I think they're having something on May 1st, where they were saying every Saturday and every Monday, I guess they're here, and then I don't know what May 1st. I just saw that on the thing that's going to be a big one, and so we'll see. We'll see how the media puts everything. We'll see how if more people are moved to act. This is about action at this point. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace, love, and breath.